I had a brother who served in the war, and he was impacted by Agent Orange, and he's still impacted by Agent Orange even till today. I think the Vietnam War also, for me as a young man, made me more politically sensitive about international affairs and things having to do with global conflict.
Politics just pushes us on, and we follow the leader, and we shouldn't do that. We just shouldn't. Everyone that sees that, and I wish my father were alive today so he could see it, so he could understand what took place and that it was an atrocity.
I'm dealing with that day to day, every day, because I'm not going to forget it. It's not going to leave. Of course, I have nightmares and still do, right? About certain things that happen over there, which I don't want to talk about. But
he has trouble sleeping. There, again, with the physical toll, there's times where he just isn't able to participate in different family events and things like that. And so I think it's definitely much more than I realized. It's absolutely more than I realized, and it's hurtful to me to watch him, suffer, especially physically.
I didn't want to be there. You couldn't escape. It was like being on the moon. You had nowhere to go. You couldn't get out of there. Today, now that I'm home, I'm still in contact, almost 50 years now, with my friends that I served with. We talk on the phone. We haven't seen each other yet. It's like time stood still. It's the same. We're the same people, but we look different now.
I basically only talk about it with other veterans that can understand what I'm saying. And we're all basically going through the same thing, so we know how to talk with each other and how to help each other. I think it'll live with me forever, but I try not to dwell on it because I know I have another life that I have to live, and I can't let what happened then affect me now.
Everybody is starting to say thank you, and it's almost like you're saying it too much. I have 2 boys. I have 9 total great-grands and grandsons, and I don't want them to have to go through what I went through.
Especially as I get older, you think about it more often just because you refer your memory to the old days, and the old days are when you were young. And our youth was spent, for the most part, serving our country, and in my case, and many others in Vietnam.
And I say to this generation, the millennials and the ones before them, if your grandfather, which I'm a proud grandfather, if he's willing to talk about it, talk to him before his time is up.
One day we were at this grain fair up near where we live in Newtown, and we're just walking around looking at these cars, and he said, "I'll buy you one if you don't go in." I was like, "No," but he didn't want me to. Neither did my mother. I think it's just the parental protection.
Every day during the news, during the war, it was in people's home, it was on TV. And that doesn't happen now. I was a conscientious objector. I did 2 years of alternative service in lieu of serving in the military. And I feel that the young people today don't have a clue about what went on in this country.
The values are formed then, particularly loyalty and honor. And when you meet people coming back from the Nam, as you would call it, or from Westpac, there was a sense of honor about being loyal to your comrades, being a Marine, and following through. So what I experience now and reflect on is the difference between the meaning of honor now and the meaning of honor back then.
It had an impact on me in terms of how I viewed the country, how I viewed the leadership of the country, priorities, I think it's the kind of experience that reverberates many, many years, even decades into the future. And just watching this series brought up so many emotions. I found myself every night as I watched crying.